I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I'll lead you all wherever you may be, and I'll lead you all in the dance, said he.
You may be seated. Well, I have certainly enjoyed this Lenten season. This fabulous booklet has guided me and opened me to many aspects of my life. If you haven't got a copy of it, there are still copies on the welcome table. You don't need to read it during Lent to get the wisdom from it. It's quite powerful. So, one point that this awakening to our Christ consciousness is calling us to is to know that resurrection is happening now. It's not a distant idea. It's not like once and done. Resurrection happens every time. Every time we rise, every time we navigate through a difficult time, every time we have a heart filled with gratitude and love, the light is a blessing, and resurrection is happening now. Now, many of you are familiar with the wonderful Reverend Maggie Alderman. She served with us for a time. She was our associate minister after she was an intern here, and now she's a director at Silent Unity. We love Reverend Maggie Alderman, and so it's a special treat that she wrote today's Easter message in our booklet. And here she writes, Easter invites us to recognize that resurrection is not a one-time event. It is a divine pattern woven into the fabric of our becoming. This morning reminds us that the tomb is never the end of the story. Now, we certainly can imagine what the followers of Jesus felt when they came to the tomb and the stone was rolled away and it was empty. We know what it's like when our expectations are blown out of the water. Anyone can relate to that feeling? If you're breathing, the answer is yes. Because we don't always get it our way. Ever notice? But this is an opportunity for us to welcome in this key idea of resurrection into our knowing as spiritual journeyers. As opening to that beloved presence, that Christ consciousness. That why on earth follow a Lenten journey if we don't arrive someplace? And we have arrived at a deeper awareness of our Christ consciousness, a deeper knowing of our oneness with each other. We've released and reimagined for 40 days. That's quite a journey. And it doesn't end with today. It begins with today. Everything that follows from here is our awakening to what is. Now, from Scripture, this is pointed out by John 11:25 by simply saying, I am the resurrection and the life. Let's say that together. I am the resurrection and the life. Let's say it again. I am the resurrection and the life. Now, do you know it? Do you believe it? Well, let's check the second part first. It's sort of like charades. So, life. Is there anyone here who's not alive? Speak up. So we got the first one down, right? We are alive. We are a life. Each of us are a life. Now, I am the resurrection. We have to put on our spiritual clothes to know this truly. Because if we put it only on our egoic mind, there's a whole committee that's going to say, who do you think you are? Really? You're not good enough for that. Anyone ever have voices in their head that say, no, you can't? Since we're 100% divine and we're 100% human, we're talking to the 100% divine. And from that, we know that there is an eternal, unchanging presence in the universe by whatever name you give it. Today I'll just call it Bob. You might call it God, or Allah, or principle, or substance, or Jesus, or Buddha, or Allah. It doesn't matter what name you get it. When Moses asked, what's your name? It's I am that I am. So, that I am is the presence that is. Doesn't change. And it is the essence of us, or we wouldn't be here. It's God's love that births us. It's God's love that sustains us. It's God's life that gives us the energy to be. Do you know that? From your 100% divine self, that's the reality. And from that, I am the resurrection. Because each and every moment is a new moment for creation to thrive. When the ocean creates a wave, and the wave crests and it returns back to ocean, do you think the wave cries that it gets to go back to the ocean? It celebrates that it got to rise up and be a wave. We get to celebrate that as we journey through this life. And Easter is a wonderful opportunity to establish a knowing, a trust, a faith beyond anything else that this is true for us. Because resurrection is happening right now. Reverend Maggie Alderman continues by saying, in our moments of greatest uncertainty and surrender, Spirit is already at work, calling us forth, unbinding what no longer serves, guiding us into a new life, perhaps in a way we have not yet to imagine for ourselves. We got some ideas. We have dreams and we have visions. But in truth, the destination is brought to us and carries us to it. The resurrection is kinetic. It's alive. It's creative. If it was over and done, we wouldn't be here. There's something of God in us that's drawing us forward, that's calling us to be present, that's asking us to participate. Because these are the hands This is the heart. These are the feet of God. And each of us have a set. We need to use it for the highest good. Is this making sense? Are you recognizing that resurrection is an idea we can instill into our practice to rise up? Because I don't know about you, but sometimes life is really hard. And when that cloud descends and I feel that it's never going to end, doom and gloom, of course it is. And everything feels bleak, and I feel lost and alone. All I need do is breathe a little deeper. Because all I need is a crack in my dark shadow to allow God in. And then, like miracle, the way is shown. Might be calling someone, might be going back to bed, it might be eating, it might be connecting, and it might be something I never even thought of before. So that when we're doing it, it's like, I had no idea I was going to be doing this. Trust me. When Nancy, we were at a religious science church, Center for Spiritual Living. They had just lost their minister and were innocently sitting in a row. And Nancy says to the board president, "Excuse me, when are you going to have Gary speak?" Nancy, shut up! Shut up now! No way am I ever going to do that. I didn't see myself as a speaker. I didn't see myself as someone who had anything that I could offer to somebody else. And I realize I don't. All I can share with you is my growing edge. All I can do is participate with you in acknowledging that we're on this journey together. I don't have a wealth of knowledge you don't already have. But I'm willing to participate. And so when I said yes, and I gave my first talk, I realized, wow, I didn't have any imagination of that being me. And look what happened. I love it. And I bet you can reflect on places in your life where you've been called to something and had no idea that that was something you were going to do. Might be giving birth to a child. I hear some laughter. It might be. Because if you wait to have a child when you're totally ready for it, the population would come to an end. I'm just saying. But resurrection is happening now because that's exactly what happens. We give birth to new life. We give birth to new ideas. We give birth to wonderful forgiveness and letting go. Because if it doesn't serve us anymore, we don't need to carry it around. Now, Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, really writes this quite clearly. He says, the resurrection is not a miracle peculiar to Jesus alone. It is the awakening, the raising to spiritual consciousness of every individual. And this is why we have family. This is why we have community. This is why we have special holidays and observances to help guide us, to remind us, wake us up. It's easier for me to remember the truth that the resurrection is now every day because I practice it. How good are you at something if you never practice? Not so. You got to build that muscle memory. So, to recap, it's Easter. Resurrection is happening. We are in the presence of a wonderful eternal energy, by whatever name we give it, that sustains us, that grows us, that challenges us, that asks us to deliver love, compassion, mercy, forgiveness, hope. All because we are. Because we're alive. Because we're open and willing. And it sure is wonderful to be with people who are willing. Because all it takes is a little bit of faith, and it can happen. So our personal exploration this week really calls us. Number one, ask yourself, what are you needing to surrender? We all know something. For me, it's control. My need to control. I need to release that over and over again, but every time I do, I'm a little less stressed. Where are you being challenged to change? What are you not accepting? What are you being called to change? Maybe an idea, a belief, a practice, a routine. And three, what new life could be trying to emerge here? What is God nudging you? What is God giving you in nudges and niggles and intuition? What's new? Maybe a little more patient with ourselves, a little more patient with our significant others, maybe a little more forgiving as we go through our day. Maybe a little more open to joy. Maybe a little more open to fun, to laughter. Does any of that sound good to you? Wonderful. So remember, resurrection is happening now. Thank you.